Redditors who felt like they would never ever find a romantic partner and then did. What advice would you give to those who feel the same way now? Try to do something that allows you to meet new people. And I don't mean it in a romantic way like go on dates. But, hang out with people. Get to know someone new. This way, even if you don't find someone to date, you can get to know someone and they will introduce you to someone else and so on. I mean, I know it's very easy to just sit at home and be like, well, if it's my fate, she will find me eventually. Especially if you're a girl like me. It's easy to think this way and not even try to put in any efforts. But it doesn't work this way. Push yourself. Be proactive. Put yourself in situations where you might meet someone, even if they're sometimes not so comfortable for you. Even statistically, the more people you meet, the more are the chances that one of them will end up that special someone. I always tried to remember something I read. Happiness is like a butterfly. The more you chase it, the faster it will flutter away. It's when you ignore it, and focus on other things, that it will come land in your hand on its own. You really only need one person. Don't pick someone to fix, or be fixed by. This will only take away your time and emotional energy. I don't mean to spoil the mood, but there's a Bo Burnham quote that I think applies here. I would say don't take advice from people like me who have gotten very lucky. We're very biased. Like Taylor Swift telling you to follow your dreams is like a lottery winner telling you, liquidize your assets. Buy Powerball tickets. It works. If I'm honest, luck was the main factor in me finding my partner, and there's no formula or advice I can pass on for that. Become okay on your own first and foremost, and recognize that there are things about yourself that people will not like and will disqualify you from their dating pool, and that's okay. I lost over 140 pounds and have quite the amount of loose skin, and once I realized that some guys and gals just wouldn't be down for that, and that's alright, I started to be okay. I let potential dates know beforehand, and if they were like, EWW no, then I knew that that wasn't someone I would want in my life anyway. Other guys I told about it would try to shower me with compliments and say, no, you're perfect, but I could tell they cringed. My current boyfriend saw a picture of my skin, nodded, took a breath and said, babe, your shit's I love that asshole. Don't get so caught up in not having someone and jump into something to settle. Not having someone isn't as bad as being with someone who brings you down. Be patient. I'd say don't stress it by purposely trying to activate the dating mode on every woman you meet. Just stay on a friend level and see how it goes. If it develops into something where you think she's interested in more, go for it. If not, then don't ruin the friendship and respect her opinion. In the end, it's a lot of randomness. My first girlfriend came out of nowhere and didn't have the intent to date me, but it went well, for a while lol. That being said, I'm bad at all of that stuff, so take my stuff with a grain of salt. As a female, I find it way more attractive when a guy takes his time to like me. When he likes me instantly, I assume it's purely because I'm attractive and he's desperate, not because he enjoys my actual presence. I'm more on the reserved, introverted side, so if you like a girl like that, I'd try the slow and steady approach. Talk to strangers. That random guy buying cork at Lowe's on Sunday morning probably has a few things going for him. He knows a little something about home maintenance. He's frugal enough to do the job himself. He's not still drunk from last night. He is going to finish his project before the game begins tonight. It's at least worth a chat. Keep putting yourself out there. You're not gonna meet your future someone by sitting at home alone unless it's the food delivery person, I guess. Even if you only have one friend or none who is available that day and can join you, still try to go to concerts, bars, bookstores, restaurants, etc. alone. Also, just because things don't happen romantically with someone doesn't mean cut them off. Sometimes people are meant to just be a fun friend, acquaintance, and you can expand your social circle through them, and meet a romantic partner from that. Get out of the house. People aren't going to show up to your front door. The more social events, places you go to, the better. I know people who complain about there not being anyone out there for them, but they never give themselves the opportunity to meet new people. I know it sounds weird, but stop looking and find a hobby that can involve other people. I swear women can smell desperation and loneliness. After a couple of years of dating after my divorce, zillions of first dates and women who had no long-term potential, I gave up. I just did my own thing. Worked on my cars with a local car club. Took care of the kids when I had them. Eventually, the woman I never would have sought out unexpectedly came along. Been married 16 years now. After reading most of the responses on this thread, I don't think my eyeballs will ever roll back into place. I'm sure if you just be yourself, your eyeballs will be fine. This is nothing revolutionary, but just putting yourself first, and grasping every opportunity that comes your way. One night when I was playing pool with a buddy, I missed an opportunity with a girl because I was too scared to do anything. The next night, someone asked if I wanted to go out for a few drinks, and I really wasn't in the mood. I was still pissed off at myself from the night before, and was in full self-hate mode, but I decided I wasn't going to miss out on any other opportunities and was just gonna do it. So I went out, only thinking about having a good time, drinking beer, shooting pool, playing darts, all the good stuff. Then on the bus on the way home, some girl caught my eye. It was the same girl from the night before. It just seemed like a sign. And of course, I didn't let that opportunity pass me by again. It's only been 6 months, but we're still going strong, and I feel lucky every day to be with her. It still scares me that I very nearly didn't go out that night. If I'd been mopey and miserable, I'd have missed out on the best thing that's happened to me. So just get out there, try to do more things, and you will find someone when you least expect it. And when a friend asks if you want to do something, say yes. It could just be the best decision you ever make. I didn't meet my wife until I was 30. My 20s were quite lonely, having had only one real girlfriend. Now that I'm married with 2 kids, my advice for anyone younger and trying to meet a partner in life is that you need to be upfront about your feelings, and not be concerned about rejection. None of the rejection will matter when you get older. In the moment it can feel bad, but instead you should think, oh well, they didn't like me, I will go try another one. I was a shut-in ages 13 to 17 because of my family's abuse and bullying in middle school. My therapist, family's friends, etc., were all skeptical of my ability to live a normal life. I basically spent all day playing RuneScape, procrastinating in online school, and role-playing on weird niche websites. I had severe anxiety, depression, and body dysmorphia, so any hallmarks of a normal life seemed totally out of the question, especially romance and sex. Because of the body dysmorphia, some stuff happened, and I ended up moving out at 18, into my own apartment. Everyone thought this was completely insane, of course, but it worked. I think the most important part was that I had to rely on myself, which involved, like, ordering at restaurants, or buying vegetables at the farmer's market, the closest market to my house, or working on my laptop in a coffee shop because they had free internet and a good parfait. I don't know, no one reacted to me like I was some crazy monster with a hideously wrong face. So I started talking to people, who mostly assumed I was a real person and not someone who until recently would go days at a time without bathing, alternatively, bathing 6 times a day, waking up only to play Skyrim, eating chips for every meal. I was mostly just so shocked each step of the way, shocked that people were reacting to me like I was normal, that I didn't even really think about romance until it happened organically. And after that, I felt normal, because I had done lots of normal people things and I didn't feel like I was pretending anymore. So, it was easier the next time. It's cliché, but I think the only reason any of this happened was because I put myself in a position where I had no option but to do a bunch of things that seemed terrifying and impossible before. And it's easier to do things when you have to. And if everything is something that used to be completely impossible, there's not that big a gulf between, like, buying a watermelon and talking to the person sitting next to you. I don't know if that's good advice, but yeah. I spent much of the last 5 years thinking I was done with dating, that I'd be single forever, that women my age weren't interested in guys like me, etc., etc., etc. Make an excuse. I was probably telling it to myself. I've tried online dating. I've tried getting out there and widening my social circles. Doing new things. I'd had a few very brief trysts arise from my efforts, but real connections felt very scarce, which to me seemed preposterous. I live in a very progressive state, with tons of smart, kind, witty, wild women who are involved, aware, and active, but for all my efforts to meet and hold the attention of one, I was only feeling more and more defeated over time. The best thing you can do, I think, is to just do you. Find joy in your daily routine, in the aspects of your life that you choose. Be into you. Someone is going to notice. Confidence and comfort in your own skin is probably the most attractive quality one can project. Are you a little bit weird? Go with it. Own it. Revel in it. Someone out there is gonna find your quirks adorable, even sexy. I'm 35 years old and I still have trouble believing myself to be an attractive individual, but I am also an incredibly harsh critic of myself, and I think many of us are, too. Just accept and love yourself. Embrace and live the shit out of your life. Someone is going to want in. I was so painfully shy and insecure when I was younger. I didn't believe anyone would see anything valuable in me. I would say don't get caught up in thinking you're unlovable. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Allow yourself to be vulnerable with people. I spent a lot of time pushing people away because I feared rejection so much.